All right, here we go.
First things off.
Cheese is getting melted. All right, we're gonna do what I'm pretty sure is gonna be a failed experiment. Ryobi battery, or even the knockoff to the Ryobi battery. And this is a knockoff version of the Ryobi battery power inverter. It claims 150 watts, 1.25 amps. So at 120 volts. So we're gonna try to inflate a camping air mattress with it. I'm assuming, I haven't even looked at this yet, that this requires more amps than what this device puts out. So it says it right here. Let's read it. No, actually 120 volts at 0.65 amps. So actually this should work. And then we're also going to see about, maybe we'll see about, both of these are fully charged. The knockoff, which claims to be 9 amps, versus this newer Ryobi, which is claiming to be 4 amps. Both of them are fully charged, and I've had this for a while. I promise you it's not 9 amps. But for the price, it usually seems to be every bit of the 4 amp. So this big boy is cheaper than that. Heavier. I just want to see, we're going to put it in the tent here in a little bit, but I want to see if it actually works and doesn't blow this thing up. We'll first do it with the knockoff battery. So yeah, claims 125 amp output, and this claims it only needs 0.65 of an amp, so we should be fine. Turn it on. Is it on? It's on. There's a green light. All right. That's actually better than I thought. Should be fine. Maybe it's a good experiment. Well, later on we're going to put it in the tent and fully inflate it so it'll run the whole time. We'll see if it overheats. There's a fan inside this thing to help keep it cool, but we'll see how it goes. This is our 10-foot Amazon tent. It's actually been pretty awesome. We've used it once. We even went through light rain, and it did really great. No leaks at all. But it's new. You know, when they're new, they don't tend to leak so much. But we're going to try to see if this 9 amp fully charged knockoff Ryobi with their knockoff power inverter attachment can blow up this queen size air mattress all the way without a problem. We'll see. And also it has a headrest, so it's like really big. All right, here we go. Oh. Uh-oh. Probably can't see it, but we just filled the thing all the way up, and I'm at 3/4 battery. So we're going to use 1/4 of that battery to do that. That's not bad. That's it. And that was another thing. It's not overheated. Didn't seem overworked. So really wasn't bad. I'm going to keep using this battery tonight to see, because I got a fan. This is obviously... Well, you know what? I can't use it on the fan and the lantern at the same time. But I'll use it at least on the fan. See if we can run it all night on low. Okay.
Hi guys, so we're out here today and we're actually going to be camping tonight for the first time, and you've probably already seen the time lapse of us setting up our tent, but I'm prepping some dinner. We have a new grill out here that I'm going to show you, but we picked up some...
For the first time when? How long has it been?
Since September.
September when?
The very beginning of September.
When?
I don't know.
2024?
Yeah, 2024.
What's the date now?
April 25th.
2025.
2025, yep. So, it's taking us this long to actually come and spend the night out here, even though we've done some very late nights, like, 2 a.m. or whatever. But we got our tent set up, we've got a grill out here now, and we went to Publix before we came out. I got oysters, I got steak, so we're gonna season the steak and make oysters Rockefeller. I'm not sure the exact recipe on that, but I'm doing my version and what I just had at home to put that together. So, we haven't been out here very much the last 2 weeks. The last time I was out here was 2 Fridays ago, and we came out to do some really kind of official measuring of where we want the house to go, how much room do we have to work with, what are our setbacks. We're working around some trees that we wanted to keep. One of them, we call it our bonsai pine at the front of the property. I think we're going to be able to keep that one, but we have an oak that wasn't originally going to come out and now I think is going to have to come out. And so we went back home having all of our numbers, and we started using this design app to make a floor plan, and took like 2 weeks of both of us working on that, showing each other, this is my idea and this is where I want to be and this is how I think things should be laid out. And we argued about that a couple of times and kind of felt a little disheartened that maybe we weren't going to reach something that we both agreed on, but we did. And I'm really happy with the design, and I think he is too. I forgot an oyster shucker of any kind, so I pulled 2 tools out of the tool bag, and I'm assuming that I'm gonna be able to shuck the oysters with these. So we had some recommendations for someone who could maybe help us with our engineering, because we plan on doing a lot of the build ourselves, but obviously we need to have an architect or an engineer sign off on our drawing plans for the county. And we were close enough to done with our designs today that we sent them over to an architect and talked to them for quite a while, and it just kind of sounds like we need to have a new elevation survey done, which we intended on doing that. Which way should this go? Do you like oysters? We like oysters. A new elevation survey done, because what we are hoping with this property is that we are raising it enough that our area close to our pond is no longer considered flood zone, and we get to build kind of as we want with normal restriction and no additional flood insurance. We are prepared to pay for flood insurance if that's what we have to do, and we're also prepared to move our design to further back on the property. But what that means is kind of about where I'm sitting on these picnic benches is where we want our backyard to be. And if we have to move the house further back, then this is where the house would be instead. So if we have the land elevated enough, then we get to put the house where we want it and also not have to meet the additional requirements of elevation and flood insurance. So these are all shucking pretty good and look pretty good, even though all I have is a flathead screwdriver and a chisel, and it's been a long time since I've shucked my own oysters, but I got it. So I think the main toppings for Oyster Rockefeller is chopped tomato and Parmesan cheese. If there's more that goes on it, there might be. Is there onion? Possibly. But I wanted to keep it as simple as possible, and I'm sure that Parmesan and tomato will be quite good. Usually when we eat oysters, we are at a restaurant and we usually get them raw. That's always its own fun, tasty adventure. But I don't know. I've never, well, maybe once when I was like a teenager with my parents, I ate raw oysters at home from oysters that my dad bought at like a store. But I've never purchased oysters from the grocery store that I then ate raw. I always ate them cooked. These are very much alive. They seem to be good, healthy oysters. So they'd probably be fine raw, but what do you guys think? Do you eat raw oysters? And if you do you ever do them at home, or do you only do it at a restaurant?
Just tell them about your new grill.
Well, I did mention the grill, that we got a grill, and I'm going to show them. But yeah, the grill is very cool. It's a very nice grill. It is a ceramic, one of the kind of egg. It's not a green egg, but it's that shape, and it's a ceramic coated grill. And the best part about it is that we got it for free, and it's in good, very good condition. We had to replace the inside grate, but other than that, I mean, it's perfect. And we got it for free. When we first bought this property back in September, there's a lot of just undeveloped land around us. So there's lots of places to go hiking and places to explore in the woods, and that's really also why we really like this area and why we wanted to move here. But so on one of our hikes, we saw this grill out in the woods, and
way back when we first bought this place.
Yeah, back in September. And we're like, who would... I looked up the grill. What's the brand on it?
Let me tell you. Vision Grill.
Vision Grill. Okay, so I look up the grill because we look at it and it looks like a really nice grill. And it was like a $500 to $800 grill. And I'm like, who would leave a grill like this out in the woods? And so we just left it out there, but anytime we went by that area on one of our hikes, we checked it out, and the grill's still there. So now here we are. 8 months later or however long. And we decided, well, it's been long enough.
I thought somebody stole it.
Someone could have stole it and ditched it out in the woods.
But then, once we started moving it, there is no way one or even two people would have moved this entire thing all in one shot.
Yeah, it's very heavy. I scratched up my leg trying to move it. We kind of had to take it in as many pieces as it would come. We removed the side tables. We took it off of its base and, moved it in a couple of sections. But yeah, it was really heavy. Why would anyone put it out in the woods? Maybe, we thought, well, it could have been some kids or some teenagers that parents were like, sure, you can have the old grill because we have a really great brand new green egg.
Who knows? Something like that.
I don't know. All right, could you get me a towel, because that is the one thing I forgot, and before I touch anything else I need to wipe this oyster shell off my hands. Yep. Yeah, so he got a nice new grate for it, and that should last for a long time. Last year, no, actually it was 2 years ago that Mike built an entirely stainless steel grill, and
we'll make a video about that.
That thing's still definitely kicking, and we use that one regularly.
And that one, annoyingly, the materials I bought for it are pretty much all low-grade stainless. That's when I learned about the different grades of stainless. Not all stainless is the same. And but because it's stainless, even though it has a little bit of surface rust, it should last basically forever.
All right, so to make my life easier, I just put this container together before we left, and it's some various colored cherry tomatoes and Parmesan cheese. And so I'm just going to top these oysters here now. I'm going to go in with a little bit of salt first.
What are you making?
Oyster Rockefeller.
You already told them that, didn't you?
I said, we usually eat raw oysters. I don't even think that we've done cooked oysters together.
Never. I don't think I've ever had at home. I've never had oysters with you at all.
Yeah,
we have.
No.
Okay,
no.
Yeah. At restaurants, anytime I go to Hooters, I want oysters, or at least
Hooters, good seafood restaurant.
Hooters.
Yeah. Well, because we live in Florida, we usually have pretty good seafood.
We have a Hooters over here. When we lived in Port Richey, that was on the water, directly on the water. And it's still there. They were doing some construction to it, but I think it's still there.
Remodeling, yeah.
And I feel like the best oysters I ever get are at that Hooters. And what I'm judging it by is anytime I get oysters that I complain about is there's too much grit in there. Yeah. Basically that. Like you're getting chunks in your mouth that you didn't want. And I have never had a bad oyster with grit and chunks of my mouth from that particular Hooters that's on the water. Which is interesting because it's a wing place, not an oyster place. But
well, it's about that distributor and who they're buying from.
Yeah, you're probably right.
These at Publix, they said USA, but they didn't.
Is it about the distributor
local.
or is it about the people shucking them back there? Well, you know what? Right now, we're going to find out if Heather's a good shucker or not. Because we're going to know if she's got a bunch of chunks of shells and sand. And she didn't wash any of these. She didn't do anything.
I don't think you're really supposed to.
We're out here in the woods.
I know you can purge your oysters the same way you can do clams and stuff, where you soak them in clean water and it makes the shellfish like kind of push out sand because it's filtering it through its system.
Well, there's definitely no purging that's happened tonight.
No. All right.
We're at sunset right now.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to tilt it real quick to show our sunset. There's our sunset in the woods. In our distance. There's our tent. There's our tractor. There's our fire. And back to Heather.
So I'm going to give these cherry tomatoes a little chop. And, I don't really think it matters too much what kind of tomato you're using. I'm just using what we had at home because That obviously makes the most sense. You were saying, though, about Hooters being the best oysters that
In
that
my
we've
total amateur experience,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, but do you remember a couple of months ago we went... So since we've moved out of Port Richey, we now live in Zephyr Hills. And we went to that seafood place just after working out here one Friday night. It was pretty late. We didn't get there till probably close to 9. And
The place with the giant oak tree that they cut down in the center of their restaurant?
yes.
What about it?
They had really good oysters. We had really good oysters
We had
that
oysters there?
night. Yeah.
Was I drunk?
No, actually, you weren't drinking that night.
We had
It was
oysters?
weird. You were healing your acid reflux.
What else did I have? What else did you have? I remember the restaurant very clearly. I have no recollection of what we ate.
I had clam chowder.
There was
was
seafood.
Not very
Yeah,
good.
I definitely remember seafood. Oh yeah, I remember your clam chowder. Yeah.
It was sweet.
It was sweet.
And you had...
Oh no. Do we plug this restaurant or not?
I don't remember the name of it, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It was a cool restaurant. I would go back.
Yeah, the atmosphere was great. They had live music. It was very outdoorsy.
There was a guy doing every Nathaniel Radcliffe, Chris Stapleton cover.
Tearing it up. He was doing all right. Holy
yeah,
I smell the oysters. They smell seafoody.
Yeah.
I think I'm down
Not bad, though.
No. It's just... it smells like oysters.
Yes. So, I had, like, some kind of mixed seafood thing, as far as I remember, that came with a variety of things. You were on, like, you wanted something in particular that night. What the heck was it? I don't remember. Anyways, though, the oysters there were actually really good. Just as good as Hooters, whatever, but he's saying he's never had one with grit at Hooters. I'm going to say I've had one or two with grit, but for the most part, they're always good.
Maybe I have. I don't know. It's been really good, though.
You know, as I'm doing this, I'm kind of thinking that you do like a squeeze of lemon juice or something on oyster Rockefeller.
You got lemon?
I don't.
You don't have lemon?
You know, obviously it's a very easy Google to be like, oyster Rockefeller recipe. So let me know. What am I missing? Google it. Let me know, because I didn't. Or
you did. You Googled it first.
No, I swear I didn't. And actually,
no, we've seen the videos.
What videos?
What videos?
I'm not sure what he's talking about. There's also,
You're
it's called
funny.
like Vegas. Isn't there like Vegas style? And I might even be like mixing up the two. Vegas style might be the one with tomato and Parmesan. Alright, that is, I don't know, that might be even the perfect amount or more tomato than I need. So we'll see. Cooked oysters like this started becoming really popular in like the 50s and 60s, and they were coming up with all of these strange names like Vegas style and oyster Rockefeller. I don't know. It's tomato.
Yeah,
and
I thought it
Parmesan.
literally had something to do with a Rockefeller.
You put a little oil on there. Petroleum.
I thought the Rockefellers were bankers.
I thought that they were oil tycoons. Comment down below were the Rockefellers bankers or oil tycoons.
Oh my god, I don't know. Yeah, there's some sort of elites. I thought they were bankers, but I might be wrong.
Okay, I'm going to go back and put a couple more tomatoes on some of these ones. I only hit with a couple.
We haven't even started the grill. Would you like me to start the grill?
Well,
no, we got to film that.
Yeah, give me a minute and I'm like almost there, and then we can take a video of our new grill and the first time we get to put charcoal in it and the first time we get to use it.
The sun is setting.
We are getting down into the mid to low 60s after midnight tonight, so we should do all right with our fan. And for one night camping, we can rough it.
Yeah. I look forward to it.
Me too. It's...
Where we have the tent, I spent like a day, almost a few hours on one day and a few hours another day, leveling that section out with the tractor.
Okie doke. I think that these are just about ready. And so I guess what I'll have you do is you can kind of do the unveiling of the grill and throw the charcoal in there, and I will film you. All right, so here is
The prep
the oysters.
with no
Yum,
lemon,
yum.
no lemon juice. All right, so Vision grills. It's used. It's old, but I don't think it's that old. We found this in the woods around our property like 7 months ago, 6 months ago, and we left it alone because it looked like maybe somebody took it or who knows what happened. And here we are 7 months later, and it's been zero activity. Nobody's touched it. Nobody's messed with it. So we decided to bring it back to our property.
We're giving it a new home. It was abandoned.
It came with the cover. And look at that. It's not a green egg. It's a Vision grill, but it is just like a green egg. It is high quality stainless, because if this was crap stainless over those, who knows how long that thing might have been out there for more than a year, 2 years, who knows. This stainless would have rusted like this. There's some rusting on here, but we're gonna find out. We have never used this grill, and you see some rusting right there. That's low quality stainless. That's crap. But look, everything works. Here, show up here. Here's the breather on top. It works. This is cast aluminum. This is fine. Look, it even has little gauges. It shows you how much.
Because you can use this as a smoker as
Do you
well.
want to open it as a 1 or maybe a 2 or maybe a 3? Right? It's got springs. This is all stainless. Look at this little deal. Here, look at this. This is like, here's a pusher to make sure it doesn't slam too hard. The gasket probably needs to be replaced. You see the gasket's got some problems, but we can deal with that later. The grill that was here was completely rotted out. Wow, feel how hot that is, Heather. It's weird. It's already like preheated. The grill that was here was slightly smaller than this and made of steel. Steel's great because it holds the heat well, but steel rots. And so I bought the stainless steel one that can go in here. But this thing has a deep bottom like a serious grill does, versus my thing has a shallow bottom, my stainless steel one. We will do a video on that later on. How's our fire doing?
Fire looks great.
Fire's roaring. How's our sunset doing? I'll take this off. I'm going to take this heating stone out. I don't know. I haven't researched this, but I think
it's called a lava stone.
Yes, it's totally lava. You can put either a pizza directly on it, or I don't know, maybe it's just meant to hold the heat. I don't know.
Heat distribution.
Yeah, maybe heat distribution. Set that aside. It has this metal grill. I'll show you this whole thing, right? So you got this ceramic pot right here, which is meant to take the heat. There's a split right here on purpose to help alleviate when it grows and shrinks, because it heats and shrinks. This is cast iron, which is rotting. It's meant to do that. It's meant to, it's sacrificial kind of.
Yes, that is a replaceable part. We looked it up on their website for about $20.
Yeah, and then you see this crack right here. That's normal, and if they didn't cut this slice right here, this thing would just fall apart. So I get what they're doing, because I've had several mocha hende. Am I saying that right?
I don't know.
I've had
chimichurris,
mocha, not a chimichurri, get out there. Mocha hende grills, or not grills, fireplaces.
Yeah,
they're all clay.
Those terracotta fireplaces.
Thank you. Terracotta fireplaces. And they all fell apart because they all crack really bad. And then I've literally mortared them back together, and then it doesn't work very well. I think this is a better design. We'll see. We're going to find out, because we're going to use this thing. Bet you the green egg. Jeez, I don't know. That feels like a lot. I'm having a hard time deciding if that's a lot.
I think that looks good.
We'll see. We're going to find out.
All right, stay tuned.
Cowabunga.
We were just talking about Ninja Turtles.
Heather taught me about Ninja Turtles. All right, our first time grilling on our, what's the brand of this thing?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I keep forgetting
Vision?
the name of it.
Vision.
Yeah, Vision Grills.
Vision Grills. These are chuck eye steaks. They are the mini version of a ribeye. They are, just so you people know, if you don't know, chuck eyes are exactly like a ribeye, just smaller, and $6 to $7 cheaper per pound. Get this vent up front. Look at that. I don't know how old this thing is, but that's a stainless steel vent, and it still works, and it's not rusty at all. We didn't have it open. Let's open it up so it breathes. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells amazing. Sizzle me timbers.
Yep.
How about your oysters? How are those doing? Oh, the bubbling. Ow, my hand's burning. You got one that's bubbling, so remember that one is hotter than the others.
Yeah.
Alright. Looks like it's flipping time. Oh no!
You're fine.
It kind of came apart, but that's okay. Because I'll still eat it.
It's just that connective part.
Look at that. I'm good with it. I don't care. I'm going to eat it.
The steak is the least hottest.
Yeah, I would put that guy over here. Leave the middle one where it is and put the outside one with that outside one. Well, whatever. You do what you do. I love giving advice what to do and then being like, well, whatever, you do what you do.
Okay.
What about your
Couple more
oysters?
minutes.
There you go. Because the heat is all coming straight up versus radiating. Like I can put my hand. We're good. It's not here. Yeah, you can touch that.
Wow.
But there's the inner grill. There's two grills. There's the inner grill and there's the outer grill.
It's like a crucible, like what's in a kiln.
A crucible.
Yeah. That's that inner part of a kiln.
What? You're gonna have to educate me on that. I don't know what you're saying. This steak turned into two. We're doing great though. This is gonna be fantastic. I'm excited.
Cut.
Alright, here we go.
First steak's off.
Cheese is getting melted. Steaks are coming off. We're getting to medium rare, medium. I think the oysters
like,
up and
yeah,
done.
the oysters are starting to look
Do you
done.
need
We're
do you
getting
need your
toasty.
tongs? How are you gonna get them?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Getting tongs. There you go. You need another plate. Let me get the other plate.
Okay.
When you get those off, we'll get the other plate.
This is just like some tomato juice left over on the plate from the tomatoes I
Oh
chopped up.
yeah, tomato dip steak. We are in the wilderness with a really great grill. No electricity. Do you hear that bird?
Is that a whippoorwillow? He said that a couple weeks ago, and I mean, I was like, well, that sounds official.
It's a whippoorwill.
But that sounds Australian.
Well, you're Australian.
Is it a Florida thing or Australia?
Don't comment in the comments. Thank you. I'm going to go for an oyster Rockefeller. All right, here we go. Oyster Rockefeller. So we have oysters, we have cooked oysters, Parmesan cheese, tomatoes, and what else?
And butter.
And butter.
Salt and pepper.
Wow. That's not a wow because, like, we're on film. Like, that's really freaking good. I spent my entire life only eating raw oysters. I've never had a cooked oyster.
Never? Well, I mean, I know you've done
Hold
the
on.
smoked canned oysters.
That's not true. There's a friend of mine, an older guy, who took me for oysters at a place in Hudson, which I only thought it was okay. Hold on. Yeah, as you say that, I'm remembering it. But this is so much better. And I don't know why.
Do you think we could get the kids to eat this?
2 of them.
2 out of 4.
2 out of 4.
Well, that sounds like an email. 2 out of 4, like it. Can't please everyone.
I love it. I cannot believe how good this is. Oyster Rockefeller.
All right, cut into your steak.
And there is no lemon juice on it. And I am wildly impressed by it.
That was great.
Amazing. Fantastic. I credit you, not the grill.
What?
Amazing.
All right. Well, we are going to enjoy our meal. And maybe enjoy a walk here in a little bit before we head to our tent for the night. So, signing off for now.